Evalast Productions.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Aisha's reality show, and I'm here to tell you about my trip to Tulum. Let's get into it. So first, traveling during a pandemic. Of course, at the airport, you have to still follow all the CDC guidelines for this coronavirus. Still required to wear a mask and social distance. A whole bunch of things transpired on my trip to Tulum, or trying to get to. I was told by my airline that there will be a delay. Why? Because there was a tropical storm.
Why are you crying?
Happening in Tulum, Mexico, and we could not land. I had to wait like an additional 5 hours before I could even get on my plane to land in actually Cancun, because when you reach Mexico, you have to land in Cancun because Tulum does not have an airport. So Tulum is like an hour and a half away from Cancun. So when you land in Cancun, obviously you have to take some type of taxi or cab to get to wherever your accommodations or hotels is at in my Tulum. Flight was scheduled for, I believe, 10:30. As I am waiting to board the plane in Fort Lauderdale Airport, they came on and said that our plane will be delayed 5 hours until 2:30 p.m. because of a tropical storm that was going on in Cancun.
So I'm in the airport, like, what is it to do for an entire 5 hours before I arrive in Cancun?
I just had to wait it out and hear updates of what the airlines had to say about being able to land in Cancun. They did get several different updates. So they finally did get an update from another plane that had landed in Tulum, and I guess had told Fort Lauderdale Airport that landed in Tulum, even though a tropical storm was going on, that it would be safe. So long and behold, I was able to board my flight to Cancun. So the flight from Fort Lauderdale to Cancun is like, I'll say maybe an hour and a half. So within an hour and a half, I was there. Now, when you first arrive in Cancun, you're gonna go through a temperature scan or check.
Really?
That they're checking for in reference to the coronavirus. It's just like a machine you walk through and they check your temperature. Once again, you're still required to social distance. You're still required to wear your mask. When you first get out of the airport, it's gonna be so many vendors trying to sell you stuff. If I were you, I would just keep a straight eye or put on some shades and just keep it moving. Because they try to sell you taxi rides to wherever you're going. They trying to sell you accommodations, but I had already had all those things prepared for me before my arrival in Cancun. Did exchange some money. Now their money rate is $1 is equal to $19 for them. So they do have a good currency exchange rate. So I did exchange $100. So then therefore I had $1,900 in pesos to spend in Mexico. I actually did the exchange at the airport, and I wasn't charged any fee. Like some people say you get charged a fee, but I wasn't charged any fee to exchange my money. So that was a good thing. So once out of the airport, I did already have a taxi prepared for me to take me into Tulum. So all I had to do is look for my name on a sign once I got out of the airport to find my taxi driver. My hotel's name was, I'm gonna put it across the screen, a video here of how my actual hotel looked. I did book my hotel and my taxi on booking.com. The taxi was fairly cheap. I paid about $68 to get an hour and a half drive from Cancun to Tulum. So I thought that was a good rate, but that was a one-way trip to Tulum, to my accommodations. When I finally arrived in Tulum to my hotel, More drama. There was no power in my hotel. None at all.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Stop playing. What the fuck?
They couldn't even pull up my reservations online. They couldn't charge me anything. All the guy could do is basically look at my ID, and I assumed that he had already had like some type of printout of whoever had reservations at that hotel on that day. So he did just look at my ID to verify I was the guest that was supposed to be staying there. And I couldn't even get a room key because they had one master key to all the rooms in the entire hotel. And they said that the individual keys to the rooms were not working since the power was out. So I'm assuming that one master key is hooked up to whatever generator that they have to at least power on their power locks to the room. So when I got there, they had to escort me to my room and actually let me in. So once again, remember I told you there was no power in my hotel. There was no running water at all. Giving me bottles of water. The bottles of water I would use to obviously wash my hands, brush my teeth, take a shower essentially with those bottles of water. The room was beautiful though. Once again, I'm going to try to insert pictures of the room and where I actually stayed. The property was very beautiful. It had a pool on the roof deck of the hotel, which I will show you some images of that also. But the guy did advise me that it was a little dangerous to go up there because with the tropical storm touching down, the aluminum roof had flew off. I didn't know what to do. It was either hope for the best on my trip or cancel the trip totally, but I try not to think about the negative and think about the positive. So I just basically put down my things and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get out of this hotel, try to find something to do. But a lot of places was closed that day because of the tropical storm that. So it was a little restaurant right down the street from my accommodations. So what I did do is just walk there. It probably was less than 5 minutes walk to get to this restaurant. They didn't have full power. I assumed that they were working off of a generator also because there was no lights. It was still light outside, but there was no lights. But I was assuming that they were using the kitchen on a generator to cook whatever food. So there, I just got me some tacos and a margarita, and I was just able to enjoy myself. Once again, I will insert pictures of my food that I got there and the drinks that I had. For a plate of tacos was probably about like $8.50. The margarita was probably like $5. So not pricey at all. The food was pretty good there. It wasn't probably like a true authentic Mexican restaurant, but the food was good. It was more commercialized. So that night I just went back to my hotel. It was pitch black. They did give me some candles to light up the room. Day 2, I woke up really early. I woke up around 7 o'clock in the morning so I could go do all my tourist stuff without it being mocha.
What the hell?
I did wake up at 7 o'clock a.m. the next morning to get a head start on doing really mocha. I I did wake up at 7 a.m. the next morning so I could get up really early to do all the tourist things that there are to do in Tulum, Mexico before all the huge touristy crowds come. I was able to get a cab, and the first thing that I did want to do, which is the most popular area in Tulum, is Tulum Beach. So I knew it was a lot of places to get photo ops, so I headed out to Tulum Beach first. The first tourist destination that I hit, or monument, was that wooden structure. I just do not know the name of it right now, but I will put the name on the screen. Everyone knows it. The woman who looks like she is opening up her chest, and it has a whole bunch of greenery coming out. Beautiful, but the grounds of Tulum Beach were, I would say, had a lot of debris from the tropical storm. The next destination that I hit up, which is a very famous place to also go on Tulum Beach, is Casa Malca. That is Pablo Escobar's former mansion, which is now transformed into a hotel. So I was actually able to go there and get some of my pictures out also. Now, keep in mind, to get on that property in the area that's tourists will more so want to take the pictures, you do have to be a hotel guest. But luckily, I was able to sneak around people that were in charge. It is not free to get in to roam around their hotel property. You do have to pay to eat at the restaurant, and then the restaurant will give you access to roam the property to, you know, get you some photo ops in. So you have to pay like a payment of $100 in American, and that goes towards your food. But I said it also gives you access to roam around their property. So I did not eat at the restaurant. The restaurant is very pricey. So that $100, you still will be putting money on top of that $100 if you chose to eat in, maybe have some type of cocktails or drink. The next destination that I made myself over to was a cenote. This cenote was called Tortuga, and at that cenote, the entrance fee is $25. That's American. They give you a life vest, they give you goggles, and then they take you off into a group to see 3 cenotes. Cenotes are freshwater lakes or ponds that you could say. They're probably from 3 to 20 feet deep, but they do give you a life vest, so if you aren't able to swim, you'll be, you still be okay. Also at the cenotes, they have several areas where you can jump off or dive off. Once again, I'm gonna put a boomerang inserted here so that you can see what I'm talking about being able to jump off the side of the cliff into the cenote's water. The water is very clear, it's very fresh, it's very cold. You could even drink the water because it is fresh water. There's live colorful fish in the water, so it is a sight to see. So if I were you, if you do visit Tulum, make sure that you visit a cenote. Because I did tell my cab driver, which my cab driver was so good. His name was Manuel. So if you're ever in Tulum and you want a really nice cab driver, maybe try to find this guy. His name was Manuel. He stayed and waited for me while I spent my time inside of the cenote. Once I did come out from the cenote, I told him that I wanted to try some local street food or street tacos. So he did recommend me this restaurant to go to. The restaurant, once again, practicing social distancing, but I told him that I did not want to sit there. I really wanted to just experience having authentic Mexican food, so I did just have my food to go. I also told him that I wanted to try some of the street vendors' fresh fruit, the mango that they put the I believe the spice is called tajin on it. Is like a red sauce that they will put over your fruit. It is very spicy. So as we are driving through the town, he was able to find one of those spots, and I was able to get the mango with the tajin sauce. So as we are going through the town, I'm just trying to hit all the different tourist destinations. I'm like, what is the next thing to do? So the next thing that he recommended that I do was visit the Mayan ruins, which are those structures that they have that resembles a ruin. The ruin sits right on a beautiful beach. Oh my God, I'm definitely gonna insert the video for you so you can see that the beach goes for miles until you see so far out into the horizon. It is just so beautiful. So anyways, the Mayan ruins were, I believe it was $8 to get in. Once again, I am speaking it in American dollars. It is a long way to walk from the entrance to the actual entrance of the ruin. So they do have like a little shuttle that you could pay for, I think $2 or $3. I did take the shuttle to the actual entrance of the ruin, and then I was able to walk around. Now inside the ruin, there's a lot of iguanas. So if you do not like iguanas or snakes, you may want to steer clear. So you cannot actually walk like right up to the structures, the ruins. They have ropes around them because it's sacred land. I just had my taxi driver take me back to my hotel, and at my hotel I just did some relaxing at the pool, and I did make reservations to go to Taboo. Now Taboo is one of the most famous, littest restaurants that is on Tulum Beach. Very nice restaurant, very good ambiance. I'm gonna insert definitely the picture here. Now, the only thing about this restaurant is it is very, very pricey, okay? It's on the high end of food. It's not local food. It's more commercialized. So you're not getting like that authentic taste from that restaurant. To me, that restaurant is more so like an experience because they play music. They have those sparklers going for people's birthdays. Everyone is up dancing as they are eating their dinners. People are drinking. So to me, that restaurant is definitely for the ambiance versus you actually enjoying your meal. Now, the food is good, but for the price, I don't think it's actually worth it. I'm gonna insert the food that I had in the video here. I did have a steak and potatoes, which range about $50 to $55 US. I did get a Miami Vice, and they do put a cinnamon stick, and I'm not a fan of cinnamon in my drink. So therefore I wasn't a fan of the drinks there. So back at the hotel, so remember there's no power there. So I had to actually go to a hotel right across the street and like beg the people to basically charge my phone, because at this point my phone was dead. So I gave them a little tip to charge my phone for a little bit so I could have some type of power. Now at this point I felt I had did everything that I wanted to do in Tulum. I have visited Casa Malca. I had all the pictures that I wanted. I visited the ruin. I ate local street food. So I was like over Mexico at this point, being that my hotel didn't have any running water, any air conditioning, any power, or anything like that. So I was just ready to go. So I did call my airlines to move my flight back to Fort Lauderdale earlier, because my flight was actually at 6 o'clock p.m. the next day. So I did call so that they could move my flight up to I believe 10:30 a.m. that morning, so I could just get up and head on back to the airport. Now, another good thing though about this hotel that I stayed at, power being out, was since their power was out, they had no way to pull up anything on a computer. They had no way to charge my credit card, because I did, like I told you, I did book through booking.com, and you do not have to pay any fees beforehand. You pay once you get to the property. So there was no lights or no power, so they couldn't charge me. So I actually stayed at the hotel for free.
But don't tell nobody.
So I had done everything that I wanted to do and see in Tulum Beach. I will leave you all the information in the description box of my accommodations, where I stayed, the restaurants I visited, and all the attractions that I visited. And if you are not a subscriber of my channel, Aisha's Reality Show, please hit that bell and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you back again.